a very warm welcome to all my dear viewers. I am Seema Chhoriya and I bring to you another celebrated figure from the world of Indian academia. There is a beautiful quote in the Bible which reads, "Give instructions to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase his learning." Service is helping others who need assistance. Having a positive impact on someone's life reminds us of the value we bring and give our life purposes. Being an educator is doing the highest service to the mankind. Please join me in welcoming humanitarian guest of today, Dr. John Harrison, Director, Litera Valley School, Patna. The school belongs to Z Group. Welcome to Great Principles, sir. It's truly an honor for us to have you today.
It's a pleasure for me, Seema. Thank you so much for having me.
So, sir, let us begin by knowing where it all started. So, once upon a time, you believed in empowering people through education, and that has actually witnessed the test of time too. We have seen that how education has empowered people out there. So, tell me, why do you think that teaching is an important tool and learning is it for an educator?
Seema, if I may speak about my childhood in particular, I think I was born with a servant attitude. And in fact, teaching and being an educator is more like a calling for me. I consider it to be a vocation, rather than a profession. My heart, since my childhood, was where my treasure is in serving people.
All right, sir. So that is very true that yes, sir had the education as his calling and teaching as his calling. But sir, given the fact that today many don't opt for this wonderful vocation, so how can we lure more of young youth to opt for teaching as a profession?
See, Seema, if you actually look at it, this is my personal opinion. People may not agree with me, but this is the only profession, this is the only sector where we are actually dealing with young lives, where you actually get the honor and the privilege to deal with young minds and young hearts. And especially, nothing can be a much bigger and a greater reward than once these kids pass out of school, they graduate from grade 12 and they come back to you. I've been in the education sector for over 2 decades, 28 years to be precise. Most of my students, they are bureaucrats now. They, in fact, some of them are principals. They are heading institutions themselves. And even now, till date, when they meet you, the way they touch your feet, the way they greet you. I mean, nothing beats that feeling. Nothing beats that feeling. So that's what it is. I mean, even the younger generation, if the present set of educators in the country, if we could lead by example, if we could be those role models while serving and leading our institutions wherever we are, if we could be an inspiration for our students, I'm sure even if 5% of them, decide to take up education as a career, I think this country would not be doing bad in future at all.
Wonderful thought here, sir. I think the youth today is very observant. If you want them to do certain things, then just practice it. And you rightly said, be a role model, set a good example, show how educators matters, and you see that youth will join in. So, on this wonderful note, hoping best for the future and hoping that our country gets quality teachers, we move to our next question. So, I will put up this question in Hindi for my parents, sir. You know that we are born in our country India, and especially in the times when you were a student, I was a student, we were always guided by our parents. कहाँ पढ़ना है, क्या करना है, फ्यूचर में क्या बनना है, शादी किससे करनी है, everything was
जी.
decided by our dear parents. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि आज की जनरेशन भी वही फॉलो करने वाली है, या अब टाइम आ गया है कि हमारे इंडियन पेरेंट्स को अपनी मेंटालिटी बदलने की जरूरत है और बच्चों को कुछ डिसीजंस इंडिपेंडेंटली लेने देना चाहिए? व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स?
सीमा, मेरी सोच ये है कि आई थिंक इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इनफैक्ट इट्स इम्पेरेटिव कि वी एज पेरेंट्स गिव दैट ऑटोनॉमी टू चिल्ड्रन. हम लोग का जमाना फर्क था, where our teachers decided as to what we learn, our parents decided as to what we study. लेकिन आज का जमाने का, आज का जो यूथ है, आज का जो बच्चा है, they are very different in their thoughts and in their mindset. इन बच्चों के लिए they like to have that autonomy कि we will decide what I want to learn. कृपया करके आप हमें ना बताएं कि हमें क्या सीखना है. More than us preparing them for the future, I think they themselves want themselves to be ready for the future. And if you actually compare our generation with the younger generation, I think the present lot of these children, I would say, they are risk takers. If I may speak about my generation, I don't think any one of us was a risk taker at a young age. For each and everything, we used to be consulting our parents. And if you look at the children today, they are very independent thinkers. Most of them, in fact, if I may speak about the 5,000 odd students which I'm responsible for, majority of them know as to the purpose why they exist. Most of them have unlocked their potential and they refer to themselves as being future ready. And I still remember I had graduated from grade 12 and I was still uncertain as to what is the profession that I want for myself. And आज की generation में I don't see that difference at all. They are absolutely ready. They have that clarity of thought in them कि मैंने क्या करना है. So I think we are dealing with a very different generation at all.
So, if I ask you, what would be your advice to our parents, what would that be?
Being a parent myself, uh, मेरी एडवाइस ये रहेगी कि एटलीस्ट वी शुड बी पेशेंट विद आवर किड्स and at the same time we should be empathetic and understanding towards them, and let's not forget they are our children. हमारे ही बच्चे हैं. If the least we could do for them is support them in the decision, perhaps we could help them in filtering the thought process, refining it further, improving it. If we can, give them a helping hand in making them better and not bitter, so I think we would be doing our job as educators and as parents. And let's
Absolutely
not forget
wonderful.
that each and every parent also is an educator. That's the way I see it.
Right, right. Parents are the first educators, and the education starts from the home first. So,
Absolutely.
wonderful thoughts shared by you, sir, here that we as parents need to be patient. We need to understand the thought process of our children. And the best thing was ultimately, aap hi ke bacche hain, let them take their decisions. It's okay, it's fine. You
Absolutely.
have done your bit. So
Absolutely.
we can be friends and mentors and guide, but cannot just pressurize our children all the time that follow what I want to be and lay the pressure of our dreams on them. Gone are the days those.
Yeah.
So wonderful takeaway from this answer. Moving ahead, sir, as we all can see the many awards and trophies right behind sir. So, sir, you have such extensive list of awards received on national soil as well as internationally, and these are for the various services towards mankind. How do you feel when you represent India as an educator? That's a big honor.
Uh, See, Seema, I considered myself to be very fortunate and very blessed, if I may use that word, that God has been very kind that I serve on the board of several international organizations as an advisor. And I'm proud to call myself a humanitarian because I'm associated with several noble causes, be it anti-child trafficking, street children, homeless children in Africa, the women involved in flesh trade, you name it, and we are doing it. In fact, even one of the organizations that I serve, Fight Cancer Global, we're creating awareness towards cancer globally, and there are so many other organizations too. So, in that context, yes, I'm proud to call myself an educator. And when it comes to representing the nation, I think to begin with, each and every educator should first represent themselves. If we can carry ourselves well, and जैसे एक कहावत है अंग्रेजी में कि a man who wants to move the world should first move himself. If first to begin with, if we can get ourselves organized, the institutions we're heading, that organized, the group of people that we are responsible for, be it our staff, be it our teachers, be it the the parent community, and be it our students, the entire school community. If we can be responsible for these people, and then perhaps we could think on the bigger scale, be it a country, be it the world, I think the point I'm trying to make is that at each and every moment we need to be on terra firma. We need to stay grounded as to who we are, because each and every teacher, each and every educator, I very strongly feel is a servant first. Okay, we need to have that servant attitude because it is in serving that we are served, and it is in giving that we receive. Jay.
Right, sir. So I think, sir, you have set an example by being the greatest humanitarian out there. How do you practice such strategies, or I may say, such activities do you have in your school wherein you can teach children to be more humane? Because I think humanity can only save the world going ahead.
Jay. See, Seema, one of the initiatives I've taken control of, especially in my school, which I'm heading, is the Litera school happens to be the first school and the only school in Bihar, if I may say so, which has implemented a leadership curriculum. And this curriculum is spearheaded by me. And if I may speak about myself, I'm a very hands on person. Most of the time, you'll find me outside my office rather than inside my office. And in fact, I love spending time with children. I love spending time with my students. I encourage them, I empower them, I equip them. And in fact, I take a lot of pride when I say this. Okay, I don't prepare my students for exams, I prepare them for life. Because if you are ready for life, life in itself is one of the biggest exams that each and every one of us face. So if you are ready to face life, you can face any exam, no matter whether it's a board exam, whether it's a class exam, that would be a cakewalk for you. So that's what I do on a daily basis. That's a deliberate choice I have made in my career. Okay, this is my choice. And trust me when I say this, I've been doing it since my childhood. And that's when I decided, okay, yes, I mean, these are things which come naturally to me. And these are the things which I'm good in. And I'm just, fortunate to say this that it's become a habit. मेरी आदत हो गई है, तो it just comes naturally. Yes.
Absolutely, sir. Wonderful to know this, that the kind of leadership you are having is something very approachable, very participative, wherein you are yourself involving and doing the activities with the students, so they have that flavor that all right, so this is the kind of leadership that we are, you are setting an example in front of them, that when you lead, you are supposed to be a part of the team and not just stand above the team and instruct them. So this kind of examples you are setting, and I congratulate you for all the good work that you are doing. May all the goals that you have set out be accomplished this year, and I'm really proud to see an educator like this in front of me, and I can't tell you how privileged I'm feeling to showcase your journey today, because with educators like you, I feel that certainly future for my children is definitely going to be bright. So, on this beautiful learning, to all my dear viewers, we move to our next question, sir. It says that faith can make us move mountains, and we need to hear few words that instill faith in us. So, there are times you are yourself a seasoned leader, but I'm sure there must be a someone whom you must also look up for your advice, support, and inspiration. So, who is that person of your life?
See, Seema, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not religious at all because religion is man made and God is spiritual. He's not religious. So I get my inspiration, I get my strength from God. And if I may say this on a personal note, the two people who really touched me, transformed me, blessed me abundantly were my parents. Both of them, they no longer exist. They passed away a couple of years back. But as you said earlier in a conversation, that every parent is a teacher first. I still remember my father teaching me things which I can never ever forget. My mother literally hand holding me even when I was young. In fact, even when I was married, a mother's love, nobody can beat that. तो जो मैंने अपने माता पिताजी से सीखा, I, to be very honest, I don't think any other educationist or any other educator has taught me ever. And as I said earlier, I take my inspiration, I take my strength from my prayers, from my connect with God. And I think that's the only reason which keeps me grounded, which keeps me humble, and which keeps me simple. Ji.
Beautiful thought, sir. Wonderful to know this. And I really love the thought where you mentioned that religion is man made. So I'm a spiritual person, and this is what we need to teach our children: believe in God. God exists, and the existence of the God never has to be questioned, because that is the power which keeps us giving hope. And hope is the biggest thing which can help us survive any battles, right? So this is the wonderful takeaway from this answer, that teach our children about the power of God, existence. There is
Yes.
nothing to do with the religion. We are all on an equal scale. So
Yeah.
great to know, sir, and I'm really happy that you had such great parents who made you what you are today, and I'm sure they're always looking upon and they're so proud of you. So moving ahead in our conversation, we have reached to the very, very interesting segment of the show, which is called rapid fire round. You have to answer in a word or a sentence. All right, so here goes my first question to you. You spend your recreational time indulging in activities like.
Reading, writing, praying, and music.
All right, wonderful. Moving ahead to the next question. Tell us about a funny or weird incident in your life.
Funny or weird incident? I remember I had gone across to Hong Kong. Could my reply be a wee bit longer? Because
That's fine, sir. All right, please go ahead.
I remember I had gone to Hong Kong for a post graduation of mine, and I had just landed at Hong Kong, and I had walked into the university where I was supposed to study. And as my luck would have it, I landed there on a Sunday, and the university was closed. All right, and I was supposed to be residing on campus. So I was very thirsty, extremely thirsty. So I was going around looking for a place where I can find some water. And being a Sunday, वहाँ पे staff नहीं था.
Mhm.
So I couldn't find anybody. Finally, as my luck would have it, I found the dining hall. So I thanked God for it कि at least dining hall तो मिला, तो I'm sure यहाँ पे पानी भी होगा. I walked into the dining hall, and there was this Chinese lady who did not understand a word of English, and मुझे चाइनीज नहीं आती, तो somehow in my sign language I could relate to her कि मुझे पानी चाहिए, मुझे प्यास लग रही है and all that. And she pointed out towards a certain lane जहाँ पे आगे जाके मुझे पानी मिल जाएगा. There was a tap there.
Mhm.
So I walked through the lane and I reached the water tap. जब मैंने, I don't know whether I would call myself stupid or whatsoever, मैंने उस नलके के नीचे अपना हाथ डाला और जैसे पानी खोला तो there was boiling water. It
Oh
was
my God.
hot water. So one thing which I noticed when I was in Hong Kong is वहाँ के लोग they are very fond of taking hot water or lukewarm water. ठंडा पानी
Mhm.
hardly anybody drinks there.
Oh.
So in fact that's one of the reasons why आप Chinese को बहुत ज्यादातर वो दुबले पतले होते हैं. They don't look obese or they don't look fat as such. So that was something weird which I don't think I'll ever forget in life.
Yeah, but we had a good learning that drink lukewarm water. It will keep you, make you,
Yeah,
relate you, stay healthy. Yeah.
after every meal, China में they take lukewarm water. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, तीनों meals के बाद वो गर्म पानी पीते हैं.
Yes, so to all my dear viewers, sir just revealed the secret of staying slim, healthy, and to lead a happy life. That is, drink lukewarm water. So that's the big the takeaway from this. That this is how we should learn from the different cultures out there. What are their practices and adapt what is good for us. So moving ahead to the next question. So you are also, you travel a lot. So I would like to know, where did you travel last?
The last 2 years, as we know, COVID scenario, it has literally brought the world to a standstill. So apparently last 2 साल में तो I haven't traveled much. जी.
All right, all right. So, what do you think? Do the virtual connections appeal you more, or you prefer to be on grounds and meeting people?
See, I always believe in that personal connect. It's always good, to greet someone with a warm handshake or a hug. Nothing beats that feeling. That human touch, uh, there's absolutely no comparison in a virtual world and that real connect.
Completely agree with you, sir. And we can see all our students missing out their school so much because they are missing out on the human touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, moving ahead to the next question, any non academic activity that you pursue diligently?
As I said, I was excellent in cricket. I was a very good cricketer. In fact, I played for my my school, my college. I played for Delhi. So that was one area. I'm still very fond of cricket. In fact, that's the only thing I watch on TV. So
And
cricket
wonderful.
was one.
All right. Going ahead to the last question in this segment, name your three favorite books.
Name my three favorite
Books.
books. The
Yeah.
first, obviously, is the Bible.
Mhm.
Then another book which I love is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren.
Right.
And the third book I would strongly recommend is Chutzpah. It talks about Israel as to why such a small, tiny nation happens to be such an innovative country and such a dynamic chutzpah. My apologies that I don't remember the name of the writer, the author, but Chutzpah is the third book I would strongly recommend.
Wonderful. To all my dear viewers, see, reading opens the world to you. You live so many lives when you read. So, sir, I've recommended these three books. Go ahead and read yourself too, and you will see the difference in your life. So, sir, it was very interesting to know in this segment. We realized that you are not only a great educator, you are a reader, you're a writer, you're a traveler, you play cricket as well. You read a lot and you're a spiritual person connected to God. So, in short span of time, we got to know so much about you. It was really interesting. Moving ahead to the last question of the show, which is called viewers choice question. So this is the question my viewers has shared with me, and I have picked this one for you. They say that leaders nurture strength and talents of the people and build teams committed achieving common goals. They lead by example and establish strong trusting relationship to ensure the success within the team. So what is your formula for effective leadership?
See, Seema, I would reiterate the fact that I call myself, and I take a lot of pride in calling myself a servant leader. The way I function is I believe in giving complete freedom to the teams I work with. Just let them go, just let them work, all right? And give them the assurance that you are there as a backup. Anytime they need you, any bottleneck situation, you are there to back them up. Let me share the silly example with you. I consider leadership to be when you're working with teams, when you're working with people, it's like flying a kite. Okay, you need to let go. If you're holding on to that string tightly, you're not reaching anywhere. Just let it go, and then perhaps you will see their flight. You will see their growth. You will see the teams blossoming, and at the same time you hold on to that control. The control is with you, right? And that's the way it should be.
Wonderful, sir.
Yeah.
So, servant leadership, the concept is very beautiful. And I think this is something which can be followed by all our educators out there. It's like if someone gives me order, I won't just I'll just finish the task. But if they make me part of the decision, I'll take it as my responsibility and willingly do it. As sir mentioned, just see the kite flying and just take a step back. You're always there to do something if anything goes wrong. So this is how you build a strong team which is always willing to give out their best to you. So to be a great leader, try the servant leadership concept. It's wonderful. Sir, it was great interacting with you. I learned so much today, and I'm sure my viewers are going to enjoy this conversation. So, Sir Harrison, sir, we have witnessed your treasures and you have made us richer by sharing your ideologies on how we can be humane and human at the same time. I would like you to thank you on behalf of all my viewers for taking out time to talk to us, share your wonderful thoughts, philosophies, and journey with us. Thank you so much.
The pleasure was mine, Seema. Thank you so much for having me on the show.